I came up here 7 years ago and happened upon the Drowsy Chaperone at the Elgin Theatre, and who knew 7 years later we would be going downstairs to play the Elgin Theatre. But I had the show, I had the rights for about 3 or 4 years, and I shopped it around to many of my producing partners, producing colleagues in New York. Nobody would read it. Nobody would listen to me because they said, "What's it called? The Droopy Chauffeur?" So nobody would read it. So I finally had to deliver the Man and Chair to New York. So I brought Bob Martin down, did a reading in New York. Georgia Engel, Danny Burston, who ended up doing the original Broadway, did the reading. That's when Kevin came. That's when Bob Boyette, Barbara Freitag, my producing partners here and on Broadway, and that's really when it began to take steam. This cast is so tight and together, so wonderfully talented, and it was a thrill to be here again and see the show really bring itself back home. It was very exciting for all of us. When we were in Los Angeles, where we launched the pre-Broadway production, Casey Nicolau, our director, knew we were planning to get married during the 3 months of putting the show together out there, and he said, "Why don't you get married on stage?" And he said, there's actually 4 weddings in the show now, and they had just written in the wedding to Feldzig and Kitty, and he said, "Why don't you be the 5th wedding?" And we said, "I don't know if we want to do that." And he said, well, just have Bob Martin marry you. And I said, "Well, we can't do that. He's not a minister." So Bob Martin got legally ordained online, which you can do in 5 minutes, and he married my wife, Heather Hawkins, and now everyone will stop looking at me because she's beautiful. And we got married on stage in front of 1,600 strangers. We didn't even get a blender. You know, a lot of people get into this business to walk away with a big hit, but this show started as a wedding gift, and it's been a celebration of love, and we call it the gift that keeps on giving. And we're all still pinching ourselves and thinking, how did this all happen? It just started as a gift from 3 wonderful writers to Bob Martin and Janet Van der Graaf, and here we are back in Toronto celebrating the show all over again. So for me, it's just really been a celebration, and yes, it sparks many other possibilities and other projects as a result of it, but we're just enjoying the ride. It's been really thrilling.